Thank you for staying with us. The Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered, is set to convene its highly anticipated annual National Management Conference themed Economic Stability and National Security, the contending issues and the way forward. The three-day conference will take place from the 22nd to the 24th of this month in Port Harcourt, the picturesque Garden City. This premier event brings together an impressive lineup of thought leaders and experts from diverse sectors, including business, government, academia, and civil society. Renowned speakers will share insightful perspectives on the intricate relationship between economic stability and national security, exploring the challenges and opportunities facing Nigeria. Now, key highlights of the conference include thought-provoking plenaries and panel discussions, interactive sessions with industry experts and policymakers, amongst others. Now, joining us via Zoom from Port Harcourt is the President and Chairman of Council, Dr. Christiana Ataku. Good morning. It's good to have you join us on the program.
Good morning, and thank you very much.
Now, quickly talk to us, especially the focus of the theme for this year, why the NIM decided to choose this as something that it needs to address. What are the gaps that it saw, that it felt that it needed to address at this crucial and critical time?
Thank you very much for that question. Let me start first, just permit me, by talking a little bit about NIM so that when we go into these specific issues, our viewers will appreciate, why we are taking this position. NIM is about 63 years old now, and we're chartered in 2003. And the charter empowered NIM to determine the standard of knowledge and skills to be acquired by people who intend to become members, and to review this from time to time. The charter also empowered NIM to regulate and control the practice of management profession in all its aspects and ramifications. And since then, we have been engaged in human capital development. We have been emphasizing capacity building, having people at the center of our operations, believing that people are very, very important and critical to any operation and to any form of leadership and management. And having said this, let me go to your question. I want to say that this year, every year, the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered organizes various programs, to integrate the populace and bring them under, a platform where, issues of national interest, issues of burning issues of national interest would be discussed. And this is with a view to profiling solutions to government and to help the nation move forward. In keeping with this tradition this year, economic stability and national security, the contending issues and the way forward, was chosen as the theme of the conference. And this decision was taken because of the issues that we are experiencing currently in Nigeria. Well, let me state here briefly that the event is scheduled to hold at the Obiwale International Conference Center from the 22nd to the 24th of September. And the conference will be declared open by President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, GCFR, who will equally serve as a special guest of honor. We also are expecting the former President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, who will chair the event. And while the Executive Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Sir Siminalaye Fubara, is
Dr. Ataku, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I can hear you.
I asked a particular question that I would love for you to actually address. So, because we'll address the issues of those who are the guest speakers and others later on, but what were the gaps that the agency
Okay,
of your
Nigeria
organization
as a
saw?
developing,
Yeah.
okay, Nigeria is a developing nation, and we are really grappling with security issues, with economic challenges. And presently, you will agree that the nation is undergoing some economic reforms in form of subsidy removal and floating of the naira. And these have negatively impacted the cost and standard of living of the citizenry. And on the other hand, we have a lot of challenges, national security in the country that the nation is facing, ranging from insurgency, conflicts between farmers and herders, banditry, organized crime, kidnapping for ransom, and other forms of criminality. And these security threats do not only undermine national security, do not undermine just national stability and the rule of law, but also have untold adverse effects on the economy. And that is why the Nigerian Institute of Management has decided, to look at this issue very critically. In the northern part of this country, of course, there's high insecurity. And the Islamic jihadist group Boko Haram has become a threat to business activities. And this lack of security has deterred prospective investors from engaging in business activities in these areas. And so that has led to stagnation of commercial operations. So we now believe that in NIM, that we have a forum that we would be able to articulate these issues and see how we can come up with a roadmap. We can chart a workable roadmap for the government. And at the end of this conference, we are hoping to have a communique that we can forward to government to see how we can solve these seemingly intractable challenges.
Right. And talking about this roadmap that you mentioned, is we can see that you're already, dressed for the conference today. But, the conference is due next week, I should say. But talk to us about this roadmap that, you're talking about to ensure that the conference will not just be another talk shop.
Yes, in fact, the personalities that we are inviting to speak in the first place, they have the knowledge, they have the experience, and they're actually going to talk to the situation. And we are inviting even leaders, people that we believe should be the ones that are going to implement some of the decisions or recommendations that we are going to make. It's not going to be a talk show. That is why we are inviting the critical stakeholders, people that will come listen to us and brainstorm with us and maybe go back with these ideas for implementation. Most of the programs we've been having, we have been sending to government, we've been sending to organizations, to the parastatals, agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of executing them. And most of the programs that we have, the communiques, we don't just keep them in the file, we take them round. And some of them, I believe, are being considered and utilized for the good of the country.
It's interesting to hear that some of the decisions reached at the conferences you have held over the years is still in the state of considerations. I'm wondering how far the Institute wants to go this time around to move beyond consideration, to see them being implemented, follow through, to ensure that the persons that are being invited, you put them under some sort of pressure, knowing that these decisions reached would, at the end of the day, be benefiting to the country at large.
Yes, they're not only at the point of consideration. Like, that was why I came with a little history of NIM. We've been here 63 years and we've been making impact. In fact, we impact our leaders, through the suggestions we make, and we sit with them, we articulate this. Some of the policy decisions that have been taken are because we have made our positions clear to them, and we've been able to guide them in those policy decisions.
Could you give us some examples of some of these decisions?
Like the issue that is going on now in the country, we've been able to make it clear that there is need to consider the citizenry. When you're making policies, it's important that you consider the people that these policies will affect and, cushion the effect of the policies that you have made. We've been able to make this clear, and I think that is why some of the issues, some of the areas, that are being handled now, trying to see how the effect of the policies that have been formulated are being cushioned, are going on.
Right, and we also understand that the program is open to not just members of NIMC, but the Institute of Management, but also other members of the public are encouraged to attend. So tell us some more about what attendees stands to benefit.
Yes, attendees stand to benefit a lot. Like you rightly said, it's not for managers, professional managers alone. We make it open. Even non-managers can attend. You see, NIM is a place where we learn a lot about managerial competency, managerial excellence, and professionalism. And, at this conference, we expect that everybody will go home with the knowledge of the issues in the country and how these issues will be addressed. We believe that even in our little spaces, everybody has a role to play towards achieving this feat. When we talk to government, yes, we agree. But in our own capacity, everybody in our individual spaces can also articulate ways to resolve these problems. And I believe that at this conference, there will be a take-home insight that we will go with to implement some of the things that we have said. And we are very optimistic that if every member, everybody who attended, or every organization that attends the conference is able to implement what is expected to do for the good of the country, I think together we'll be able to get the results that we are looking for.
Right. Now, beyond the conference, let's even come to the matter of the Institute of Management. Some persons or viewers who might have just joined the program might wonder what the Institute is about. How do they become a part of the Institute, and also how does the Institute push the matters of diversity, inclusion, and all of it?
Okay, I can see why you were saying this will come later. Yes, the Institute, like I said earlier on, was founded in 1961. And in joining the Institute, you do not necessarily have to be a manager. You do not necessarily have to, belong to a specific area of specialization. It's multidisciplinary. It's for everyone. You have medical doctors, you have engineers. Everybody, we believe, is a manager. If you don't even manage economy, if you don't even manage your environment, you manage yourself, you manage your family. So everybody is a potential manager, everybody is a manager. So we do it open for every discipline to enroll in. All you need to do is, you just indicate your intention to be a member, and then you are given the forms and you fill the forms and you indicate your intention, what you want to be, and then we assess your capacity and see where we place you. But we make it open and we have the facility to accommodate everybody who comes. But you just have to be a graduate. Although we have a program for students, we have the student scheme. We believe that, we can go to the tertiary institutions, we can identify undergraduates, because these are going to be our future leaders, these are going to be our future managers. So we identify them early enough in these tertiary institutions, and we enroll them, and we help them to form a career path for themselves.
Right, and speaking about your institute, because I know during service year, the NIMC was, very vocal at the time, reaching out to would-be members. But in terms of inclusion and diversity and, level of compliance with the ideals of the institute, how have you been able to work with all of this and ensure that the reputation of the Institute is entrenched?
Yes, our institute has a code of conduct that we hold very dear to. And we hold this code of conduct in high regard. We emphasize the vital role of ethics in the profession. Many of our members consistently embody this value, the values of integrity, value of transparency, accountability, and fairness. We also have this value of efficiency and effectiveness. And then, of course, we ensure that every member adheres to the code of conduct. That is why whenever we are having any NIM program, we reaffirm our code of conduct. And this is to remind us that we have a responsibility to ourselves, to our organizations, and to the nation. And so the code of conduct is the one that really guides managers to know exactly what is expected of them. I am proud to say that majority of those who uphold our members uphold our ethos, although the goal remains a complete adherence. It's a journey, I would say, and we are committing to ensuring that every member reflects the standard NIM stands for. We have zero tolerance, I would say, for flouting its code of conduct. We have cases where defaulting members have even been delisted. When we find out you have defaulted, we set up a panel, we investigate, and if we find you wanting, we default you. So we delist you. So we are making effort to ensure that every member upholds the ethos and the code of conduct.
Right. Now, let's talk about the matters of gender parity in management. We know that the space is dominated by men, but in recent times, we are seeing a change in the trajectory. You are a testament to that, being the chair of the NIM. Now, talk to us from your perspective what you think brought about the recent change in tide of things with women occupying managerial positions and shattering some of the stereotypes that we have witnessed over the years.
And thank you for acknowledging the strides women have made in the realm of management. In fact, I agree with you that the last decade has seen a shift. And while there is still much room, with much work to be done, the increase in female leadership in corporate organizations and professional bodies is undeniable. I believe that several factors have contributed to this change. In the first place, there's increased awareness of gender disparities in leadership positions. There's also strong advocacy for equality. And this has pressured organizations to reevaluate their hiring and promotion practices. It has led to more women being given opportunities that were previously withheld from them. More women now are pursuing higher education, specialized training in management fields, preparing themselves to take on significant roles in corporate world. I would say that as more women are sent to leadership positions, they become mentors, they become sponsors, and they become inspiration to younger female professionals. And this guidance has not only helped to build skills among our female professionals, has also enabled them, given them the confidence to navigate a predominantly male-driven sector. And you see, we decided, there has to be the conscious effort of every woman to want to reach the zenith of his or her career. And many organizations are actually realizing the benefits of diversity and inclusion. And it's also leading them to implement policies that support the growth and development of female employees. You talked about me rising. I think it's the awareness, it's the acceptance of the people, in council, men in council, who believe that, yes, women have reached a level where they have been functioning and doing very well, and they can also hold positions of authority. I think I want to give it to our council because they actually allowed me to be the national treasurer, the deputy president, and eventually the president. I think there's also, societally, there's also this evolving social norm. Society is slowly but surely changing its perspective regarding the roles of women, what women can play. So as the traditional gender roles are challenged, women are being recognized more for their competencies than for their gender. And many women who have excelled, who have occupied positions of leadership, have really done well. And these have encouraged their other female professionals to want to rise to that level. And the male counterparts are happy with what we are doing as women.
And so what's the future looking like for women empowerment, giving them more places at the boardroom? And where is the NIMC going with this drive?
Yeah, I think the future is quite bright. Like I said, there's this awareness, that organizations are even beginning to see the benefit of diversity and inclusion. NIM encourages everybody to articulate, especially the women, they're giving them opportunity, to express and to show what skills and what capacity they have. We have a program in NIM which we call Women in Management and Leadership. And it is an opportunity where women come together, they discuss issues of great importance to their career development and also to their gender. Because you agree with me that, to be a woman and to excel, to occupy that position, it can be very challenging because we have the role that we play at home, we have our own personal responsibilities, we also have our work responsibilities. That NIM is encouraging women to assume that authority, and we are really doing that. And women are beginning to realize that they have opportunity to excel in their careers and to get to the highest level.
Now, with the advancement of technology with regards to education, how is the NIM adapting to this new trend to ensure management education? Anyone who wants to just, take advantage across the country, how is the NIM doing this?
Yes, I want to agree with you, that management development is very, very critical. And we are looking very critically at ensuring that we intertwine management education with technological advancements. Recently, the online education has really gained ground. And I foresee a hybrid model emerging, combining the best of online and the traditional classroom experience, because this allows for more personalized learning journey, and it also caters for diverse needs of the students globally. So what our institute is doing, we are proactively adapting by investing in advanced e-learning platforms. We are also collaborating with technical firms to curate relevant content, and we are training our faculty in digital pedagogy. We are also focusing on real-world simulations and case studies that can be accessed virtually, ensuring that our members, including student members, receive a holistic, practical education irrespective of their geographical location.
Right. Okay. And for aspiring managers, of course, many are saying it has been observed that the workplace is changing. It's not what it was like, before. So in terms of in-demand skills that aspiring managers need to have to thrive and rise even beyond their expectations, what would be your advice?
Yes, aspiring managers, they need the right skills to be able to navigate this very challenging environment that we are facing now. One of the skills that we think is adaptability. you'll agree with me that, there are so many changes that are going on, the ever-changing business landscape. We have the need to adapt to these changes. We also, as an aspiring manager, we expect that you should have emotional intelligence, which will facilitate effective interpersonal interaction. We also encourage them to have this strong ethical grounding, which we believe is essential to ensure that the decisions they reach in their businesses do not only benefit their businesses, but also stakeholders at large. The issue of critical thinking is very, very important for every aspiring manager, for him to be able to navigate the complex challenges that they face. We also encourage aspiring managers, to have the skill of visionary leadership, and this will inspire teams, in fact, towards shared goals. Effective communication skills is equally very, very important because Absolutely. It will ensure clarity. It will also foster collaboration. We emphasize that any aspiring manager should have continuous learning mindset because you have to be updated from time to time to be able to cope with the changes.
Interesting. Now, we began with the conference, and we will be wrapping up this conversation with the conference because our time is almost up. Now, for those who might want to attend, is this a hybrid conference? Those who may not be able to come to Port Harcourt, how can they be a part of it?
Yes, it's hybrid. We talk of technological advancement. It's
Absolutely.
hybrid. We appreciate the fact that not everybody would be able to leave their homes or to leave their businesses at that point. So we have it here physically. We also make provision for people to join us online.
Okay, is there a website that they can join?
Yes, that website is, I think it has been developed. I will check that, but we have advertised in such a way that we have made the platforms available that people could key in.
All right. All right, we'll have to leave the conversation here now. Dr. Christiana Atako, President and Chairman of the Council Nigeria Institute of Management Chartered. Thank you so much for your time on the program, and we wish you a great time as your conference begins next week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.